BioWare Studios was established more than 25 years ago. The studio has generated some of the most beloved video games of all time and has earned a reputation as an industry trendsetter. But what are the best quests and moments that fans love in the Dragon Age series? And the fact that you're watching this video suggests that you like the franchise, so subscribe to my channel to learn more about BioWare in general. Regardless, here are 5 quests and moments we love in Dragon Age.
Scout to the north. Be their guide.
In Your Heart Shall Burn. This scene officially concludes the game's multi-hour prologue and introduces the protagonist as the Inquisitor. The Inquisition first camped up in Haven, a tiny town in the Frostback Mountains. After forming an alliance with the Mages or the Templars, the camp is ready to march on the Rift and attempt to close it. The team returns to Haven after a seemingly successful mission and is ambushed by the Elder One, the game's actual enemy. At moments, I thought the scene of joy was too good to be true, but of course it takes a shift of tension to reveal that an attack is about to commence in Haven. This storyline seems to surprise fans, not only adding intrigue and excitement for the game, but also propels the tale ahead with superb writing and powerful action. The Elder One, also known as Corypheus, enters into the battle scene, and it's probably one of the best moments we have seen introducing an enemy. You end up thinking that the dragon could actually be an archdemon, since this is the first blighted dragon we actually see in the franchise. But the threat of 2 enemies leaves you stuck with no other choice but to stall and sacrifice yourself for the remaining people at Haven. The quest is such a significant moment because it introduces us to so many new elements of the story and the lore. And the heralds reaching out in the snow to find the last survivors leaves the player befuddled and tense. In addition, the dramatic sequences following the attack, in which the survivors try to find a new home, are both moving and compelling. And then there's the singing. Look to the sky for one day soon. The dawn will come. Okay, regardless, reaching Skyhold is a lovely sequence of atonement to the castle, and this is by far one of the best moments in the Dragon Age series.
A fine performance, Aemon. But no one here is taken in by it.
Landsmeet. Politics. And the Landsmeet questline encompasses everything fans love about Dragon Age Origins. This quest accumulates in a showdown that's suspenseful, intricate, and downright theatrical. The questline is humorous, clever, and exciting. It requires actual understanding and attention from the player in order to get the intended result. Personally, I enjoy major missions that are much about story and character development as they are about combat, and BioWare did a good job on making main characters all come together and face their consequences throughout the game, with most of it being on Loghain. It's also why many fans enjoy this one, where we're reunited with many of the people we met and dealt with before. For instance, Ara Aemon, Loghain, Arl Hal, Anora, and many others, and where the difficult decisions are actually made. In this case, the plot endings may include Alistair as king, or a number of marital circumstances, including the Grey Warden, or becoming disillusioned and intoxicated if Loghain is permitted to join the Wardens as penance for his sins. You also get to witness how Alistair behaves if he's named king. Every time I played in Origins, it was exciting to see a different ending with each and every character, which is why the Landsmeet is on this list as one of the finest Dragon Age quests out there.
Well, well, what have we here?
Introducing characters. First impressions are everything, and BioWare does a pretty good job at introducing characters in most of their games. I think that's what makes us love these characters even more, because they are surrounded and introduced in a specific manner to their characterization. The whole fandom is actually surrounded by using any character's first quote.
Well, well, what have we here?
Another aspect of what BioWare excels at is reintroducing those returning characters as well. I know that seeing a lot of those Let's Plays back then resulted in a lot of fans delighted and even teary-eyed to see a returning character throughout the series. And whether it's with new or returning characters, they are the moments that make gamers appreciate it the most. It provides us a solid idea of who we like, who we can trust, and how we will engage with those characters within the future. I also feel that because BioWare is well known for their characterization in their stories and games, introducing characters is actually very essential to them, and it is well received by the fanbase. According to many fans, Morgan is one of the greatest characters presented, and the way they utilize the identical lines from her mother reminding us of Dragon Age Origins all over again. And of course, there are many more new characters that they introduced successfully, so these moments are among the most thrilling in the series.
She's waiting for you. I have done the impossible.
All that remains. Another aspect of the Dragon Age series that excels is tragedy, and this is maybe one of the most heartbreaking sequences within the franchise yet. And the quest begins so unremarkably. Just a chance meeting with a husband who wants to discover his missing wife and clear his reputation since her family suspects him of her absence. And it leads to additional stories until it becomes darker and deeper, ending with that gut punch for all ages. All that remains is the quest where Hawke ends up at their breaking point.
Mother! Alessa.
The heartbreaking knowledge that their mother is involved leads us to believe that mages may be as wicked as others have assumed in Thedas.
My little girl has become so strong. I love you. You've always made me so proud.
The line always gets to me. Even in her deathbed hours, your mother is ultimately proud of you. That was the turning point for the probability of Hawke becoming nasty toward everything. Hawke may have been that carefree individual they are in Act 1 and 2, but now the player might have to base their reactions only on that one major quest, which a lot of them did. It was heartbreaking to watch Hawke holding their mother in their arms, and it even brought tears to my eyes as well. Many fans cried during this quest and needed some alone time once it was completed. It may hit home for some, while surprising others and resonating with their player character more than they expected. And of course, Dragon Age 2 was all about your player, and I appreciate that you didn't have to rescue all of Thedas for once. Hawke strives to defend the city they live in, but no matter how hard they try, they can't even protect their sibling or their mother. Despite the fact that Hawke is regarded as a hero in the city of Kirkwall, they failed the ones closest to them. And that's what makes this a fantastic moment, was merely the grief. I believe BioWare players cling to heartbreaking situations in the Mass Effect and Dragon Age franchises because they provide us with such intense feelings, and occasionally escapism in their own right. There are many tragic moments in the Dragon Age series that I could name, but this one set the bar for the franchise.
I suspect you have questions.
Trespasser DLC. The longer a game lasts, the more difficult it is to finish it. Enter Dragon Age Inquisition, the Trespasser DLC. When Inquisition is finished, it truly did not end. Sure, the evil Corypheus was defeated and the good folks have prevailed, but what occurred after that? Trespasser DLC wrapped all of that up. The last 20 minutes of Trespasser settle several mysteries that have been plaguing players since Solus revealed his real nature at the conclusion of Inquisition. Those solutions are rewarding and at times unexpected, especially for Dragon Age fans like me. One of the lore bombs in particular would drastically reshape our view of Thedas' metaphysical past. And if you assume the BioWare writing team threw everything together at the last minute, Solus's goals were hinted at and even directly stated during the main game. It appears that the writers of Inquisition knew exactly where they were heading the entire time. Some fans argue that this DLC made them rediscover the redeeming elements of Inquisition, either by pushing them to play a new playthrough while knowing that a certain character was being shady the entire time, or by making them appreciate the storyline and setup for the next Dragon Age game. It's also worth noting that the Inquisitor has some excellent lines in the Trespasser story.
Could one thing in this fucking world just stay fixed?
Nonetheless, this DLC is one of the Dragon Age's greatest moments, and it has fans excited for Dragon Age Dreadwolf. But with that, we are going to wrap up 5 quests and moments we love in Dragon Age. Which on this list do you appreciate the most? This is also not the only video I will be making on this, so feel free to mention other great moments in Dragon Age, and those could be featured in the next video as well. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.